It's hard to beat a person who never gives up. Namaskar, welcome to PT Pointers, and in this video, we are going to cover major headlines of the Hindu, Indian Express, and Press Information Bureau. So, without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion. Now, recently, European Union and India conducted their first joint naval exercise in the Gulf of Guinea to reinforce naval maritime security cooperation, and this exercise followed the third meeting of the European Union India Maritime Security Dialogue. Our next headline is related to China Bhutan boundary talks, and it is in the news because recently China and Bhutan held their 25th round of boundary talks and signed a cooperation agreement related to the demarcation of the Bhutan-China border. The border dispute primarily concerns the Doklam Plateau and the India-China-Bhutan Tri-Junction, as well as the Jakarlung and Pasamlang valleys. The three-step roadmap involves first agreeing to the border on the table, then visiting the sites on the ground, and then formally demarcating the boundary. How these talks affects India's interests? So friends, for India, given the breakdown in its ties with China over the standoff at the line of actual control from 2020, any hint of closer ties between China and Bhutan is a cause for concern. More specifically, India is watching demarcation discussions over Doklam because Doklam Tri-Junction cuts very close to India's Siliguri corridor, a narrow area that connects the northeastern states to the rest of India, and India would not like to see China gain access to any area closer to it. Now recently, Annamalai Tiger Reserve Committee assessed the progress of tiger rewilding project, and do you know friends, Annamalai Tiger Reserve is located on the southern side of the southwestern Ghat landscape. And do you know friends, in 1973, Project Tiger was launched to safeguard the tiger's population and preserving biodiversity, and at present, India currently harbors almost 75% of the world's wild tiger population. Our next headline is related to India's green hydrogen plans, and it is in the news because according to recent study, India's plan may end up worsening pollution if proper checks and balances are not in place. Now let's know more about India's initiative in this context. So friends, National Green Hydrogen Mission piloted by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and it expects to manufacture 5 million tons by 2030. The ministry has defined green hydrogen as hydrogen produced in a way that emits no more than 2 kgs of carbon dioxide per kg of such hydrogen. And as of August 2023, India's total renewable energy capacity stood at 131 gigawatt, and 2030 green hydrogen plan envisages adding an equivalent renewable energy capacity by 2030. This is over and above the 500 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity that India has committed to install by 2030 as part of the Paris Agreement. Now recently, US President linked India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor to Hamas attack. Now let's know more about the corridor. So friends, during the Delhi G20 summit, which was held in September 2023, India, USA, UAE, Saudi Arabia, France, Germany, Italy, and European Union signed a memorandum of understanding to establish the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor that would encourage and provide impetus to economic development through enhanced connectivity and economic integration between Asia, West Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. The corridor consists of railroad, ship-to-rail networks, and road transport routes. Now recently, Union Home Minister addressed National Symposium on Production of Improved and ट्रेडिशनल सीड थ्रू कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर, जिसको ऑर्गेनाइज किया गया था भारतीय बीज सहकारी समिति लिमिटेड के द्वारा. एंड डू यू नो फ्रेंड्स, द शेयर ऑफ इंडियाज डोमेस्टिक सीड ट्रेड in the global market is only 4.5%, and India's share in the world sea export to be only 0.6%. Our next headline is related to automated permanent academic account registry. And ये न्यूज में भी इसलिए है क्योंकि recently several state governments requested schools to seek parental consent for the creation of a new student identity card, which is known as automated परमानेंट एकेडमिक अकाउंट रजिस्ट्री, जो कि पार्ट है वन नेशन वन स्टूडेंट आईडी इनिशिएटिव का. दिस न्यू आईडी इज एनविजन्ड एज स्पेशल आईडी सिस्टम फॉर ऑल स्टूडेंट्स इन इंडिया starting from childhood, and under this initiative each student would get a lifelong APAAR ID, making it easy for the learners, schools and governments to track academic progress from pre-primary education to higher education. Now recently, India began producing reference fuel to cut import dependency, joining a few nations. Now what is reference fuel? So friends, it is highly specialized fuel which is used for testing automobiles. They are critical for calibrating and testing by automobile manufacturers and testing agencies like the International Center for Automotive Technology and Automotive Research Association of India. Our next headline is related to India Mobile Congress, जिसका 7th edition inaugurate किया जाएगा प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया के द्वारा on 27th October. India Mobile Congress is the largest telecom, media and technology forum in Asia. The 3-day Congress will highlight technologies such as 5G, 6G, artificial intelligence and discuss issues pertaining to semiconductor industry, green technology, cybersecurity, etc. And this year, India Mobile Congress is introducing a startup program, Aspire, which will foster connections between startups, investors and established businesses with an aim to catalyze fresh entrepreneurial initiatives and collaborations. Now recently, Election Commission of India appointed actor Rajkumar Rao as its national icon for upcoming polls. Now let's know more about national icon. So friends, Election Commission of India associate itself with renowned Indians from various fields and designates them as ECI's national icons to motivate voters for participation in the festival of democracy. And last year, Election Commission recognized famous actor Pankaj Tripathi as the national icon. Our next headline is related to UDAN scheme, जिसने complete किए हैं 6 साल. Now let's know more about it. So friends, it is a regional connectivity scheme which is aimed to improve infrastructure and connectivity in India, especially in remote and underserved regions. It is a vital component of India's National Civil Aviation Policy 2016, which was launched by Ministry of Civil Aviation, and first UDAN flight was inaugurated by the Prime Minister, connecting Shimla to Delhi. Our next headline is related to Dark Patterns Buster Hackathon 2023, जिसको launch किया गया है Department of Consumer Affairs के द्वारा in collaboration with IIT BHU to help develop a design and prototype innovative app or software based solutions that can identify if an e-commerce website is using one or more dark patterns. Now what are dark patterns? So friends, they are defined as practices or deceptive design patterns using user interface or user experience interactions on any platform. They are designed to mislead or trick users to do something they originally did not intend to do. Our next headline is related to Chanakya Defense Dialogue, जिसको ऑर्गेनाइज किया जा रहा है इंडियन आर्मी के द्वारा in partnership with Center for Land Warfare Studies, and इसका फर्स्ट एडिशन 4th November को होगा in Manekshaw Center in New Delhi. This is the first event of its kind being organized by the Indian Army. This dialogue will carry out a comprehensive analysis of security challenges in South Asia and Indo-Pacific region. Our next headline is related to Divya Kala Mela 2023, जिसको organize किया जाता है Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities. It is a unique event showcasing the products and craftsmanship of Divyang entrepreneurs or artisans from across the country. It is a unique initiative towards the economic empowerment of the person with disabilities. Our next and last headline is related to प्रधानमंत्री मातृ वंदना योजना जिसको लॉन्च किया गया था 2017 में एंड इट वाज रिवाइज्ड एंड इनकॉर्पोरेटेड एज कंपोनेंट ऑफ मिशन शक्ति फ्रॉम 1st April 2022 as प्रधानमंत्री मातृ वंदना योजना 2.0 which aims to provide cash incentive for partial compensation of wage loss during pregnancy so that women can take adequate rest before and after delivery of the child, and it also aims to improve health seeking behavior among the pregnant women and lactating mothers. And do you know, friends, women and children collectively constitute over 70% population of our country, and ensuring their empowerment, protection, and holistic development is essential for fostering sustainable and equitable national progress. So, with this, let's conclude our today's discussion. Thanks for listening, and for regular updates, you can follow us on various social media platforms.